Hello, creative friends, and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. If you are looking for a community of friends who are learning how to appreciate themselves, others, and the creative spirit in all of us, you are in the right place. So welcome to the Stamping Squad today. I've got the cutest card for you. Let me tell you about the products that we're using. The stamp set is called Latte Love. And I don't know about you, but I am a coffee lover. So when I saw this stamp set, I knew I had to get it. It's really adorable. Lots of things you can do with that. Also, there are coordinating dies, the Latte Love dies. Here they are. And they're so fantastic. You can make a cup of coffee. You can do like the bird's eye view of the coffee, a spoon. You can put together a coffee press, a coffee carafe. There's some other little cups. There's lots of possibilities with that. We're going to use a little bit of that today. A couple of other things that I am using for this project are the Nested Essentials dies. And I am using this one, the next to the largest one. I've already die cut that out for us today, just to save a little time. I'm also going to use this embossing folder. It's called Brick and Mortar. It's a 3D embossing folder, and I love this one. So we're going to use all those things, and we're going to use the coordinating designer series paper that is called A Little Latte. And the colors in that paper are beautiful. You're going to see how easy it is to use this great paper to make a project. So let's talk about the cardstock and the paper that I have here. I've got my ruler so I can measure things just to make sure I'm giving you all the right measurements because I did not write it down. So if you don't get them during the video, look in the description below. There'll be a link that will take you to a page where it will have a shopping list and it will have the measurements of all these pieces. So we're going to start with a piece of lemon lolly cardstock, and I believe this is 11 inches long. Yes, it is 11 inches by 5.5 inches. So that's the first thing we need. Then I'm going to switch over to my smaller ruler here. Then I've got a piece of designer series paper. It is about, let's see, it's just less than 3 1/4, so 2, 3/8, something like that. It's just a little bit less than 3 1/4. And then it's 5 1/4 inches long. This is 4 inches wide and 5 1/4 inches long. And then we've got a couple strips here. This one is 1 3/8 wide, and it's going to be 5 1/4 inches long. Same with this one. Then I've got a couple more pieces of designer series paper. This one you'll see I've already used that embossing folder, the brick and mortar embossing folder. I love the texture of that. This is pecan pie cardstock, and it is 1 3/4 inches wide and 5.5 inches long. This is a piece of early espresso. It's going to be just a little wider. It's 2 inches wide and the same length, 5.5. Then I've got a piece of white, basic white cardstock. It is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then I've got a couple more pieces of lemon lolly. This one is 1 3/4, 3 1/4, same here. Then I've got a couple more pieces of basic white cardstock. This one's just 1 3/8 by 3 1/8. Same on this one. This is a piece of basic white cardstock that I have already die cut using that die from the Nested Essentials dies that I showed you earlier. Just trying to save a little bit of time because it's not a difficult card, but it has a lot of pieces. So it's going to take us just a little while to put this all together. So I'm going to set that aside for just a moment. Let's do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to grab my early espresso ink pad. And I'm using the stamp that says, "Hello, let's catch up." So I think I've got that. It says, "Hello there, let's catch up." Did I say that? I don't know if I said that right. Okay. There it is. Super cute. And now I'm going to use the stamp that says, "You're the best part of my day." So we've got that one. I'm going to put it a little bit over off center because I'm going to put a little coffee cup here. All right, that's enough stamping for the moment. Now, let's talk about the little coffee cup. So you saw a couple of the dies. Let me bring them back over here just so you can see again. These two little, they're like little espresso cups, right? So I got out some paper scraps with the coordinating cardstock for this paper, and I don't know, I probably die cut 30 of these little espresso cups. So I've got a whole stack of them. I'm just going to set these right here. We're going to use those. Let's see. For the inside here, I think I'm going to just put this one right here. So let me grab my multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to put a little dot right here, maybe. There we go. There's a little tiny bit right there. And then I'm just going to put this right here. There we go. And I'm just going to be putting things together as we go, just because I don't want to knock something on the floor and then not be able to find it. I'm sure that never happens to you. I'm sure you always know exactly where all of your pieces are. So this goes on, and there's just a tiny little margin of the lemon lolly cardstock that you can see around the edges, just a little bit. I'm going to press that down. There we are. And let's do the same here. This is a very impressive card, I think. I love this style, and whoever receives this card is going to be quite thrilled, I am sure. So let me make sure I've got that on correct and straight. There we are. I'm just going to set those over here out of the way, and then let's stamp on this little piece of white cardstock. This is going to be the inside of my card. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper here because I want to stamp off. And now I'm going to use the pecan pie stamp pad. And this stamp is a coffee stain. How adorable is that? And I wanted to put the coffee stain on here, but I didn't want it to be so dark. So I stamped off here to get rid of some of the ink. And then the second generation stamp is much lighter, as you can see. Okay, now let's put these two things together. We're going to layer this piece of pecan pie that I've already put through with the embossing folder. It looks like brick. I thought that made sense for a coffee card. I've been in a coffee house that had some brick on the walls inside. So that aesthetic seemed like it made sense to me anyway. There we go. You would not have to emboss this. You could use that just plain with your pecan pie layered on your early espresso. So got that. And now I think it is time to do some scoring. So I will grab my scoreboard and bring it over here. Let me make sure I've got it where you can see it. There we are. And I'm going to just slip this in here, hold it in place, and we're going to make 3 score lines for this fun fold card. The first one is at 3 1/2, then 5 1/8, then last one, 6 3/4. There we are, 3 1/2, 5 1/8, 6 3/4. Now I'm going to get my bone folder. You'll notice here that this section is narrower than this section. So the wider section, that's going to be the back of the card. All right. So I am going to lay it down like this and fold on that score line. Take my bone folder. Make sure I've got a nice crisp fold there, right? Then this next score line is going to come back this way. Let's burnish that. And the last score line is going to come back this way. And that is the front of our card. So I'll pick this up and show you again here. So this is the narrower piece right here. You can see the wider pieces on the back. The narrower piece, we're going to open up our card. It's going to be like this. It's already fun, right? It's already so fun. Now let's adhere some things to this card base. First, I'm going to just take this and put it right on the front. And I'm centering it on this front flap, all right? Multi-purpose glue. There we go. One thing I wanted to mention for all my YouTube friends here is that I am planning in the very near future to do some virtual private events, live events. And so I'm kind of building an interest list for that. So it would be an invitation only event. I will host it on Zoom. And I would love for you to be there. So in the comments underneath the video, let me know if you're interested in that. Let me know if you're interested in the virtual events. I would love to invite you and have you there. All right, we're going to adhere these 2 pieces of designer series paper. I mean, this card is adorable as a coffee card, a latte card. But of course, you could use any paper that you like, any stamps, any images, die cuts. Once you've got the basic fold, you just kind of fill in the card with whatever you like. Another piece of this fun designer series paper. And this is going to go right here. I love the colors that they chose for this paper. It feels almost a little bit retro to me. I don't know if anybody else gets that impression, but that's kind of how it felt to me. Now, these 2 strips are going to go right here. Look at this. Isn't this cute? All the coffee spatter. Really fun paper. So we made this card at my last in-person stamp club meeting. And it was a hit. My stamp clubbers loved it. At the end, I'll show you another one with a different color card base. There we are. Now, let's go back to these, and we're gonna put them on the inside of the card. So this one is going to go right here. Now, we know that our card is gonna fold like this. And so we just want this right here. That means we're only gonna put glue here. Otherwise, we're gluing our card shut. And you know that's not what we wanna do. So I am just, let me pull this down here so I can get, sorry, I've got to get it down here so I can get my head above it without bumping the camera. There we are. Hopefully you can still see that. I'm just pressing that down. And so when the card closes, that goes just like that, okay? Now this one, we're gonna put on this side. So that means we only want glue here. And I'm going to put it at the very bottom. So I'm just lining it up along the bottom here. And I'm going to bend that just to make sure that I don't get this over too far where it makes it hard to bend the card closed. So here we go. There's the mechanism, just like that. I'm going to press this down. And now let's put this inside the card. This is going to go right here, okay? So the thing that you want to keep in mind when you put this down is that, remember, this front panel is narrower than this. So when you close the card, you want to make sure that this is not sticking out over here, all right? So we need to have it shifted over to the left enough that we don't see it right there, okay? So let's do that. All right. I don't know why. It's easier for me to put things down if I turn the card sideways. I'm not sure why. That's the way it works for me. But see, now it's hidden, all right? We don't see it. There we go. So this is where you can write your special message. Now, this is going to go on the front. We're going to use these two little espresso cups, but we're also going to use this piece of designer series paper that I die cut with one of the dies in the set. Let me show you the designer series paper. Well, I was going to show you, and now I do. Oh, here it is. So this is part of a piece of the designer series paper in that pack. And it's a 12 by 12 sheet, and the whole sheet is covered with the bird's eye view of these coffee cups. And if you're somebody who likes the coffee houses, who likes the lattes, you will recognize all of this art that they put in the foam on your coffee. So I took this and just cut several of them apart, and then used the die cut. I'm going to grab it here. There we go. Then I just used this die cut to cut out these cups of coffee. And that's where this came from. So that makes it really easy. Now, in the stamp set, there are stamps that you could use to do this as well. But I thought it would be kind of fun, since they have them in the designer series paper, to go ahead and use the die cut and take it straight out of the paper. That is a little bit of a time saver if you don't want to take the time to do the stamping yourself. So I'm just adhering that down. Can you see? I feel like I'm getting kind of low there. All right, and then let's put these on. Here we are. And I'm just going to put that right there. And then let's put this one on. I don't think I told you these colors. This again is Lemon Lolly. This is Lost Lagoon. Another one of the colors that's in the designer series paper. Stampin' Up! Makes the color coordination so easy. Because on the back of the page, the back of the packets of designer series paper, it does tell us, let me just show you here, it does tell us, there's probably a lot of glare there, but this is a little latte and it says Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. So they do tell us what colors are in the paper. Makes it easy to coordinate. There we go. We're going to put this on and then we're going to put a little embellishment. So I'm just going to put some glue here. Then the center it left to right. I'm just eyeballing it, so not measuring it. Let's see, did I get it straight? And then the last thing is we're going to use these really cute embellishments. They are called adhesive backed swirl dots. I don't know if you can see the swirl in them, but that mimics the idea of the swirl in the coffee, the swirl in this paper. I think they did a really great job with giving us some really cute embellishments here. Let's see, I think I'm gonna put one of these up here in this corner. And then one of these lighter colored ones right in here. And then the dark one down here, right on the edge of my coffee cup. There we go. So those are cute. Let me hold it up so you can see. There's what the front of the card looks like, and then when you open it, how fun is that? The little flaps. So when it's standing up, it looks like this, and it's a great card to display. A really great card to display. Now let me show you a different one. This one is with a petal pink card base. All right, petal pink. And then you see the designer series paper is still a swirl paper, but it's a different, different color. And there we are. Okay, so that is what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this card. And check down in the description and click that link so you can go over and get all the measurements you need for this. All right, thank you so much for watching today. I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.